Imagine a line on a map, the US-Canada border, the world's longest, usually a symbol of peace. But today, August 27, 2025, that symbol is cracking. Canada has closed a critical land route, blocking Americans from driving through to Alaska. The move is unprecedented, sending shockwaves through both nations. For decades, the idea of Canada denying passage to its closest ally was unthinkable. Yet here we are, a stop sign on the highway to America's own backyard. This isn't just about a road, it's about trust, sovereignty, and a relationship that's been a bedrock of stability. Alaska, already remote, is now even more isolated. The land bridge to the lower 48 is severed, families and supply chains are suddenly cut off. The world is watching as two of the closest friends face a crisis. How did a friendly border become a flashpoint for international tension? This is a test of a historic alliance, challenging the assumptions that have guided US-Canada relations for generations. The free flow of people and goods, once a given, has been broken. The standoff on the Alaska Highway has just begun. To grasp the crisis, you need to understand the geography. Alaska is separated from the rest of the US by 500 miles of Canadian land. The Alaska Highway is the vital artery connecting Alaska to the lower 48. Built during World War II, it's a lifeline for travelers, military, and commerce. Every year, thousands drive this route. Trucks haul essential goods, keeping Alaska running. Without it, Alaska is nearly an island. Alternatives like ferries or flights are costly and impractical for many. Blocking this route isn't a minor inconvenience, it's like closing the main bridge into a city. The flow of life and commerce is instantly choked off. The Alaska Highway once symbolized unity. Its closure is a stark reminder of how fragile even the strongest partnerships can be. A shared path has become a line of division. Canada's decision came after months of rising tension. Ottawa cited national security and environmental concerns, blaming repeated violations by some American travelers. US citizens were accused of abusing travel loopholes, ignoring quarantine rules, and putting Canadian communities at risk. Warnings and attempts at cooperation with US officials failed to resolve the issue. The final straw: unauthorized commercial activity and environmental damage in protected areas. Beyond the immediate reasons, this was also about Canadian sovereignty. Canada wanted to send a message: it's not just a hallway for US interests. The closure was swift. Border crossings reinforced, entry denied except for critical pre-approved transport. The open road that defined US-Canada relations was suddenly closed. Canada had built an administrative wall, and the shock waves were just beginning. The move forced Washington to take Canada's concerns seriously. The world took notice. The news hit the White House like a bombshell. President Trump was stunned and furious, reportedly repeating, "They can't do that to us." For Trump, this wasn't just logistics. It was a personal affront and a challenge to his image as a dealmaker. He'd always seen the US as the dominant partner, expecting Canada to fall in line. The unilateral move from Ottawa was a direct contradiction to that narrative. Trump's anger quickly spilled onto social media, threatening retaliation and calling Canada's decision disloyal. The northern border, once predictable, was now a source of conflict. The president was caught off guard, his authority openly challenged. The administration scrambled for a response, but the damage was done. The world saw a superpower blindsided by its closest neighbor. The immediate impact was chaos at border crossings. Americans bound for Alaska were turned away, stranded mid-journey. Families faced uncertainty. Businesses in Alaska braced for supply shortages and soaring prices. The economic fallout rippled fast. Goods by air or sea cost far more than trucking. On the Canadian side, towns along the highway lost their main source of income overnight. The US military, reliant on the land route for routine movements, scrambled for alternatives. The closure exposed just how dependent both nations were on cooperation. Beyond logistics, the closure damaged the sense of a shared North American community. The highway, once a symbol of connection, became a symbol of division. People on both sides wondered if the world's friendliest border would ever be the same. The psychological barrier was as real as the physical one. In Canada, many cheered the government's tough stance, seeing it as overdue protection of sovereignty. Western Canadians felt relief, but business owners along the highway were devastated, calling for more nuanced solutions. Opposition parties in Ottawa warned of US retaliation and economic harm. The debate raged. Was this a bold defense or reckless provocation? In the US, outrage and confusion dominated. Commentators called for sanctions. #BoycottCanada trended online. Many Americans felt betrayed by a trusted ally. Others blame Trump's abrasive policies for alienating Canada. Alaskans, caught in the middle, pleaded for a swift resolution. The crisis exposed deep divisions and forced both countries to confront uncomfortable truths. The political fallout was immediate and intense. The world watched as the alliance frayed. This border crisis is a lesson in the fragility of even the closest alliances. Trust and cooperation aren't automatic, they require constant effort and respect. The closure signaled that one partner felt unheard and pushed to the brink. For the US, it's a reminder that power doesn't excuse ignoring neighbors' concerns. For Canada, it's a test of managing the fallout of asserting sovereignty. The path forward demands diplomacy, humility, and real dialogue. Reopening the highway is just the start. Rebuilding trust is the real challenge. The empty Alaska highway is a warning. Bridges of understanding matter more than ever. The hope is that both nations will rebuild those bridges, ensuring the world's friendliest border lives up to its name again.